All right. Welcome, 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 generic gamers. We are back with more Factorio Krastorio 2. When last we left, we had finished up all of the tech that we needed to do on Corrundum. That was actually very quick. We got the things we needed. We might need to set up some platinum production for shipping and receiving, and eventually at some point we'll have to do platinum or scrubbing, but that's down the line. For now, however, we are going to do a little cleanup, get some stuff set up, probably just get we're going to alter our legendary scrubbers on Volcanus, and we will go from there so that we can get legendary tungsten, and then we can also get legendary. We might not even do legendary tungsten because we can do legendary carbines and plates with matter. So we might just make that a matter production line. But we shall see. We shall see. And then we'll go from there. Whoa, we move fast. We might also play some Destiny 2 later, if a buddy of mine shows up and wants to play. We were getting back into it since the game is now dying. That they've announced that it will have no more updates after the June one. So him and I decided we'd get back into it with our little clan and go through and experience the last of the content and have some fun with it while it's still going. Okay, so this is running, this is going fine, this is doing what it's supposed to do. Let's just take a look at our Corrundum hub. Yeah, there's nothing that really needs to happen here. This just runs. This is not... Oh, are we low on power? We are. Our hypercells do not create enough power, and the gas stations definitely don't. But our hypercells did not hold power long enough. Or we did not have an electric storm recently enough to be able to actually do anything with that. You'd think we would, considering we have a long line of it. I think electric storms are a lot slower in this one. There was a way to do additional power on this planet, which we could do. Really, it'll run fine when it's got... whenever electricity strikes. It's just weird that it struck for a long time and then didn't do anything. Let's look at, like... the span of an hour. It had a big spike and then a little bit. Maybe we just bring over some more of these and put more of these in, so that when we have our next big spike, it'll be fine. Let's go to the Fulgora hub and pick those up. There should be a bunch of them here. Where am I making those on? No, we're making them here. Just give me all of them. We should also probably do a stop at the Gleba scrubber and pick up as much iron and copper as we can. Oh, we can probably also bring over some legendary carbon fiber now. Oh, we don't have any space, duh. Let's go to Luna. Go, bots, go. There, you'll clear all that out now. Perfect. Back to, oh, we can't go to Corrundum because it hasn't had a lightning storm. That's annoying. Oop, let's get rid of the stream starting soon message. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for this place to get some power, could we put that on its own power grid? Yes, we could. We'll look into doing that when we go back. Let's go to the Volcanus hub. So, what we are going to try to do is figure out exactly how much. So, this is obviously, you know, this works, but it's not going to work fast enough. And what we can do, because we're not getting enough out of it, but what we can do is instead of mining this, now it's especially not going to do it as fast as we want it to do because it's only got one going. But what we can do instead is we're going to convert this to a matter farm instead, where what we do is interesting, those just sort of stop functioning after a while, huh? They're good for short periods of time, but not long term, I see. What we'll do is keep this set up, but we're not going to have it be a train station. What we're going to do is take this whole area and make it have enough. This doesn't have to come up here anymore because that doesn't do anything. All of the production of legendary stuff too. Let's clear that out for now. I also don't think we need water anymore. Right, because all of this got pulled out as well. The only ones we need are those to make the legendary stone. Trying to clean this up. Okay, So, let's figure this out. Let's take this and just stop it for now. This can stay here. What we're going to do is we're going to tear out this whole section here. In fact, we might not even do anything with trains here anymore. This may now just be... Yeah, because we're not going to do any trains here. We're just going to figure out the best way to do. What I should probably do, though... Well, no, I don't have to do that. Let's just... What I should probably do, though, is... We're going to look into... Here in a second, we're going to take a moment and go... Look at exactly what it's going to take for us to do. Set up a little bit of legendary tungsten products on the other planet. So that we can, we will probably need some legendary miners and some legendary Okay. Now let's get this set up so that it's got the... We're going to probably need... Yeah, we can set this up however big we want it to be, actually. I think we should set it up here for the stone into matter. Figure out how to do this in 3 city blocks, or a 3x2 city block grid. Okay. So, what we want to do is we're going to have to figure out some numbers here. First number is transforms matter into intermediary products. So let's say we have, actually let's do this. Let's go back to, let's take this coal that we have. Go back, drop it off at Maluna. Let's see, okay, that hub is back. Great, and it's a lightning storm, so if we put it up right now, we should be able to get... Wrong one. Need that set up too. Okay. And then this needs to go there, 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 and there. That's probably not the right spots for them, but we'll figure out the right spots for them here in a second. Perfect, right there will be good. Oh yeah, it's probably like that, isn't it? Yeah. So these actually need to go there and there, huh? Oh wait, no. In one more. Perfect. Great. That'll give more power. Hopefully we can get this high enough that next time we have a dip, it doesn't last for 10 minutes. And then I'm even tempted to just take this and put it here instead, and then take this off this grid and just have it do. Oh, we should just do that and then go like this. Because now that'll be on its own grid, and then we just go that, turn that off of there. Now we take this. Now that will be on its own power grid, so this will charge regardless of if there's an electric storm. Okay, back to... actually, the first thing we should do before we start getting going is on here. Let's do this. We need you to go to Here, please. We need to tear this one out and put a new one in. Wait, do I have this already as a blueprint? I might have that as a... Yes, a remote scrubber, great. So I don't need another blueprint to that. Let's go to manual. We're gonna leave that there like that. Just in case we need to go somewhere from there. Okay, now where's the next closest one that we're gonna do? Guess it's this one. Guess off. Oh, I could do this one. And then just set it up here, considering this doesn't really... Oh, this is doing rare metals. And that's doing that liquid. I bet you I could put my station right here and just have it be... Can I fit my blueprint here is the next question. Yes, I can. Well, then we'll just go... Okay. Oh wait, we don't have to go that way. Yeah, we don't have to go do it that way on this one. go out here, or out here, go that way, out here, come that way, out here, come that way. Perfect. Oh wait, that one needs a... Makes me wonder how many... Oh no, that one does not go out. Only that one goes out. Right. So that's right. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Perfect. Alright, now we need a little bit of power. Great. Now that one's going. And then we can just put into here that, and that. See how long it takes us to get one. I am running the Krastorio 2 Spaced Out Total Overhaul mod. Krastorio. We have all of the modded planets and recommended mods in the mod that the mod suggests. Krastorio is essentially at its core, is an extension of the normal base game. It was one of the most popular total conversion mods for the original game. And it recently, about 6 months ago, 10 months ago, the first version of it for Space Age came out. And then about 4 months ago, another modder named, who is it? Named Null. Null and XYRC have conversion mods that basically make a lot of the modded planets and other mods compatible with the Krastorio overhaul. So we have our main modder, Polka37, making the actual mod, and then 2 other modders that basically take other mods like modded planets and certain other things and ensure that they are compatible with Polka's Krastorio 2 Spaced Out mod. There's a couple. Bobs and Angels is a big one, and then the Cube is a big one. I had never played a total conversion mod myself, but I had beaten Space Age twice, or beaten. I always use air quotes because it's not. Oh, look at that! Our other one was ready to be picked up while we were out setting up our new one. I had never played a total conversion mod, and I had beaten Space Age twice, once with all of the cheeky sort of exploity things like the LDS Shuffle and Asteroid Casinos, and then a second time where I didn't use either of those in my game because I was fairly certain they'll get nerfed when 2.1 comes out. So I wanted to develop methodologies for doing them that aren't exploity. So we have a few legendary ways of getting legendary materials. Do LDS Shuffle and Asteroid Casino still work? Because I was about to try them in my current playthrough. They do. Both of them are still in the game. Both of them still function. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're things that the game allows. And as far as I'm concerned, they're so late game to get them working right that I don't see any reason not to use them. They're sort of a reward for getting that far into the game. For me, on these playthroughs, I just wanted the challenge of not using them, because it makes me have to come up with cool builds, like our legendary ore scrubber. So I have ore scrubbers. I use a design like this that essentially takes ore in on belts and then feeds it through these little modules where inserter takes it, puts it into this. This inserter says, hey, you can only have a total of 500 items in here. Goes into goes, well, it's upcycling, but it's scrubbing them. I have different ways of upcycling. I'll show you in a second. Yep, raw dog and the legendary percentages. And here's the thing, on Gleba, this is an infinite source of iron and copper. This will never run out. This will just run forever. Because you can make them out of plants. That works in the base game. In Krastorio, I can do greenhouses that grow my fruit, but you can totally do this normally in the base game. And all this is it grows my 2 plants, gets fed into bioflux manufacturers. These bioflux manufacturers feed copper and iron bacteria producers, and those come out in lines of copper and iron for me. And then these just go into recycling. And this is just an inline recycler. Because you can do the rates on ore is you can recycle an ore in 0.03 seconds. It goes so fast that this can handle pretty much, you see, it's not backed up that much. It's backed up because right now this mod has bio chamber productivity, so these are making more than my original design can handle, and we're using purple belts, which take, oh no, this is still just green belts. So this is making more than these can handle. If I was to extend this out another block, it would be perfect. I did. The problem with legendary plates is that if we look, one ore, this works both ways, but on Krastorio, we can also enrich our ore using sulfuric acid. Ooh, that's broken. Hang on, let's go over there. Let's just go over there with one of our teleporters and fix this brokenness. This got busted somehow. Oh, no, it was fine once it went away. In Krastorio, you can enrich your ore, so we're making the ore, and then we enrich the ore, and that 9 ore turns into 15.9 legendary ore, and then that legendary ore gets turned into, or that legendary ore gets 60 ore. So I'm getting 8x plates per single legendary ore. And the big difference is, if I try to do the plates, recycling a plate takes 0.2 seconds. That is 0.03. If we just do a little math there, 0.2 divided by 0.03, you're looking at, it's almost 7 times slow. I can do 7 ore in the time it takes me to do 1 plate. So you could do plates, but then getting 1 plate just gets me 1 plate, versus getting 1 ore with productivity gets me multiple plates. So I did it on Gleba simply because I have, not Krastorio specific, it's even still better with, it's still the same numbers. You still get, when you turn an ore into a plate, you can still do on basic, I mean, here, I'll even do it in a normal machine. What, like that would be in a foundry? Do I even have a foundry on me? I don't have a foundry, I only have the advanced foundries on me on this one. But it's fine because these don't have do these have a base productivity boost? They do, the same as a foundry. So a foundry has, a base productivity boost of plus 50 anyway. So this has the same productivity boost. So if we just went iron plates with, heck, we'll just even do regular productivity modules in them just for the sake of not having anything. But by this point, you should have these by the time you're building it anyway. You're still getting more plates per ore. Not as many, but definitely still getting more. So it was close, but the rates, you can get, it was one of those things like, this had to be so much bigger for a very marginal increase when I could just do more of these instead, right? It's just that I'm still going to get one more plate, a little bit more plate per ore, while having plates and skipping the step of making the plates. This was just a build, and plus, so it is infinite on Volcanus. However, on Volcanus, we can do this, which is insane, where we do the same thing but with calcite. Scrub that calcite. This is actually probably going to stop pretty soon, because we're getting to the point where I'm... And then you just use the calcite to make something and get legendary stone, and you get so much more legendary stone than you know what to do with. So now you'll have stone and calcite. This one was doing coal. We're actually going to make a change to this that is Krastorio specific, where I'm doing stone into matter into coal, and then doing it that way so that I don't have to worry about going and getting more stone. And then, so you asked about upcycling. When I'm doing upcycling, I use machines like this. Let's go to Volcanus. Volcanus has a bunch on it. I have a little blueprint that I made during the first week of... Let's find one that's got a normal machine in it. There should be... Oh, there's a bunch on Novice. This guy here. This is my auto upcycler. It is a blueprint that I can drop down. I have one for every machine that I can do. And all this is a machine that, when you drop it down, it asks, hey, what do we want to upcycle? So let's say I do want to upcycle and get assembling machines. I can select assembling machines. This won't do anything because there's no logistics here for it to use. Do I have an old one here somewhere that just has the irregular assembling machine so I can show it off? I've converted most of them to the higher end machines. Yeah, let's just assume like this. Just assume this is a regular vending machine. Right. That's why I don't... So, I agree. However, this is a way of not having anything clog up your system. So the way these work, and this is a design, my own design. Let's find one that's just here. This plops down and asks what we want to build. So then it sets this up. You put your quality modules into it. It sets the requests for this. This feeds into here. This combinator here asks, hey, what do you want to throw away? So we can choose which ones we want to throw away. Then it feeds out into this box. This box, this inserter's filters are set by this. If it's one you want to throw away, it goes into here, comes back out, comes up here. The normal quality ones get pulled back into this box, and any of the different quality ones get pulled into this box. This box's contents are tracked by these comparators, and these comparators say, hey, if we have enough of the recipe for it, send that recipe to this machine. And then it does that at this machine. So it keeps basically looping the items through and just requests. So you can drop this down in the background as early as you get rare items or even uncommon. And as long as you've got quality modules, you can drop them down so that it will make those modules for you as you go. Make that item for you as you go. It's how I basically get legendary productivity modules and stuff before I'm ready. I just drop down a bunch of them. We can show it on Volcanus. It's a little cleaner since it's on Volcanus. We're not working with something that's and these just sit here, and then this controls the thing. I just say, hey, stop when I have 1,000 of these. Actually, that's not hooked up to a node right now, so these are just going forever. I wonder how many of these I actually have now. Probably way too many. And it just goes. And these can sit in the background and run while you're doing other things, right? So I set them up mid-game to say, hey, I'd like to have some higher quality modules. On Fulgora, we set them up to do, like quality modules at the beginning. Anything that I think I might want some quality of, like quality ones of these, and then you just let it run, and it will just go. And it's not a huge resource sink, because really the only thing that's getting requested is just like I'm making them. And then it feeds it through and filters them through. And this box is the only place that ends up with random crap, random quality crap in my base. And that just sits there, right? I don't ever have to worry about this until I no longer need them because I'm making legendary everything. At which point, I can just take this and try to upcycle everything in it. For my mid-game, as soon as I do unlock legendary, though, we set up this on Fulgora. I take a separate island on Fulgora, and I set up a legendary upcycler. And all this does, actually, we'll just go over there so that I can show it off a little easier. All this does is quality scrap using a very intricate methodology for making sure that my legendary scrap doesn't get backed up. You don't have to use quality scrap, but it brings it over and then it feeds it into these, and these are recycler stacks that feed into buffer chests that have basically say, hey, keep anything of any of the items that we would recycle that isn't legendary, so that if it's legendary, a bot will come and pick it up because it's on trash unrequested. And when you request multi-tiers of quality of items, it doesn't bring items to it, it's just used for filtering. So we trash it, and it just throws it. And then I have boxes in the middle that store the legendary versions of things. So this sort of is where my mid-game, my early late game or late mid-game legendary stuff just comes in. This can just run on its own with a little legendary, with a little holmium upcycler, because the holmium doesn't do you any good in normal game to be quality. In Krastorio, we do have, actually not Krastorio, if you have Ceres planet mod, there is a use case for higher quality holmium. But yeah, that's this design. That's what runs in my mid game when I just want it. Helps me make legendary modules. Yeah, I did legendary on Fulgora on my second run through to try it out, and it was just a mess. I really want to make this into a build that can be controlled what quality I do want. Because there's certain builds like that I have that you have mid game that maybe you do want some blue ones, blue machines, and it's a little easier to get. My Fulgora, my main Fulgora is pretty clean. It's just this. I use, so in Krastorio we have bigger boxes. We have the ability to have boxes that have 500. It's not necessary. In fact, technically, the item density of this box is lower than just having green boxes throughout the whole thing, throughout all the space. So don't think that you can't do this with normal boxes. It's just I have it set up this way. So the way my Fulgora works is it all gets fed into get out chests. Those get out chests go to filtered storage warehouses here, and then these are buffer warehouses that request a certain amount. So I know exactly how much I'm gonna have of each of these at max, and then a void zone up here that just says, has run by some comparators that say, hey, if any of the items are over 195k, set the request to this to request them, so that we can just crush it down and get rid of it, so I don't back up. Yeah, Fulgora can get messy if you don't go into it with a plan. My first Fulgora was a mess as well. I tried way too hard on my first Fulgora, and I was doing quality on my first Fulgora, so I had lots of different qualities of different items before I realized that before I built my upcycler design, and once I had my upcycler design for just dropping down an upcycler. Oh, there's a standard one. This one was making recyclers for scrubber stacks. So yeah, so that's how I do upcycling for machines. I actually do them specific, like, hey, I would like some blue of this machine. Please recycle these. Just upcycle this until I have enough. And if I need them faster, I can always drop down more of these machines, more of these blueprints. So it's scalable. Alright, so what am I doing? The way this works, by the way, is these go to active provider chests. Then I have requester chests that have their request set based off of what the highest quality scrap is in this logistics network. So they'll always go and pick up the best one first, and then all of the regular ones go here and just get split out to the boxes. And these boxes say, hey, don't allow more than X amount of scrap in. And then these are just, think of these like inserters. These are called loaders. They just unload full belts or load full belts. This is a quality transfer that says, hey, use whatever the highest quality one that's in the boxes as your filter, so that we always take out the highest quality first when it comes in. This way we always know our quality scrap is getting on the train. And then on the other end of the line, we are backed up somehow. Oh, I see. Oh, it's getting put into that box. I see what the backup is. Interesting. Wonder how I fix that. I can fix it just by doing that, going like that. For now. The scrap comes out, quality scrap comes to this one, and then just goes into once again into a this one's actually a red chest, and then we have buffer chests that are requesting the higher quality with the same sort of buffer filter here. This filter is just designed to only allow if it's a full stack to come out, so that we always get our quality scrap on the train, off the train, and into the system first. I'm realizing that this could be different. I could be taking the quality scrap out, bypassing the offload buffer box. Not that it matters. This is running great. And it's not even where we really deal. Like, this is just extra legendary stuff. On the moon, which is a modded planet, we have set up our legendary everything factory. This basically runs and can makes me all of these different things that I need. These are all the things that we ship into Maluna. These will not actually get shipped into Maluna. I don't think I'm going to do tungsten here. I'm going to take these two and move them here. Except that's not going to be one. I think we are just going to do legendary matter transverters to get the legendary tungsten and carbides. Which means another little couple of these guys up here for that. back to what we were doing, though. Really, all this legendary iron. Well, we have so much iron and plates coming through. Like, if we just look at our legendary production on Gleba, we're making... The difference here is actually the speed of inserters. We make about 1 every 2 seconds of ore, which comes out to 2 per second of plates. Right? Is that right? 120 per minute. Yeah, 1 per 2 seconds, and then down to 2 seconds. So 4x returns on that. And it's scalable. I could just drop another one of these down next to it if I wanted to. If I really wanted to get more legendary copper and iron. Oh, I was coming here so I could do this. We want to make a legendary one of... I want to make a legendary one of these. Legendary steel pipe. Interesting. That's one we don't have being made anywhere. Because I didn't think of that as a component to anything. So let's just put that here. That's the best way to make legendary steel pipe. Is in this guy, okay? Another reason you're not sure about quality, I think I want to build a huge base. The only problem with making a huge base, well, here's the thing. You can still make a huge base, you just end up with even more stuff. I, personally, am not a mega base builder. I've never had a desire to make a mega base. I like trying to make, as you can see, I'm a city block enjoyer. City blocks and buses, right? Like, I like my buses and I like my city blocks. This bus has gone through a bunch of changes because we no longer do iron or plates. We do on-site liquid smelting. But my goals are always, hey, what can I cram into this square? Right? Like, this square alone takes in a full belt of stone, half a belt of green circuits, and outputs a full belt of a full green belt of red circuits and a half a belt of plastic. So it's like, okay, like, I like trying to see, like, this is a petroleum gas maker. I can get 7.7k out of this one. So it's like, I can still scale this up. I can now take, because I'm doing city bases, I could drop this down and make 10 of these and make 10x that amount if I needed it for that much plastic for something. Plus, at some point, if you have a huge base that does all that, your UPS might start to suffer from inserters and that many inserters and belts. But I don't necessarily know that that's a... I've never had a UPS problem, but that's simply because I do like smaller builds. And to me, my endgame goal when I play, and everybody can have their own endgame goals, is to have is to do legendary everything. I prefer legendary everything to legendary I prefer legendary everything to how much science can I produce, because I feel like with the end game being sciences that increase the productivity and speed of science that you're going, well, technically I could have a tiny base and have ripped out my entire base and just have done a ton of research, and now I'm doing a bajillion science per minute with one machine, right? So it's, for me, it's more of a metric of how do I want to look at it, I guess. Actually, now that I look at it as well, this this machine should have been up here. Oops. Then this doesn't need to come all the way down here, right? Right. Okay. Now let's do iron pipes, which we can do. Oh, we can probably put that here. No, we'll just put that. Yeah, let's put it there, since it'll be... Actually, if we go... that there... Then we're going to do iron pipes. Or steel pipe, rather. Then, what number are we going to? What number did we go to on regular pipe? 1K? Perfect, that'll be fine then. These... Oh wait, we can't do that on those. Okay. Oop. Where did you decide to put that? Over here. Because I forgot to put a box up for it. Oh, that one doesn't have one. Set that to go while that's less than 1K. Now we'll have legendary pipe going. This doesn't have a thing that it's supposed to be yet. Lithium plates, silicon. Okay, should do lithium plates as well. What's the best place to do lithium plates? Is it in... Oh, that doesn't have an in requester on it. Okay, so now this should be making steel plates. As soon as that gets to 1,000, it'll stop. Wonderful. And all that takes is iron and coal in our build, because our coal gets turned into activated carbon, and then this in the calcinator is activated carbon and iron. In the base game, that would just be coal and iron plates to make steel plates. But in this, you need to use coke normally, which is wood and coal, and I didn't want to use coke, so we are using an alternative recipe from the Pelagos planet, which is activated carbon, and activated carbon can be made legendary coal to legendary carbon to legendary activated carbon, all in our calcinators to make us our legendary steel. Alright, now, the other thing we need is, while we're at it, since we're just looking at what we need, set up our legendary tungsten plates. Should make those in a advanced furnace. Probably should have put this here. Yeah. Let's turn that off real quick. That, oh. That there. It's not my favorite place to put it, but it'll work there. Recipe. Put one of these here. Take this. Go like that. Take that, put it here. Take that, put it here. Take that, put it here. Or here. Take that, put that there. Here we request legendary lithium. Where is that? There it is. And you, once again. I see what I did differently there. Okay, that's fine. We can make that work. Cool. So now that's lithium taken care of. Silicon cells, which we need for this and that, and if we want to make the hypercells. Legendary magnets will be tough, because we'll have to figure out some way of doing legendary magnets. I think legendary magnets are... I think the best way to do that is going to be to upcycle neodymium, which means, because we're not going to need a ton of magnets, I don't think. What I should do, though, is probably stop on the machine, stop turning it into matter. Just collect as much neodymium as we can. There we go. Doing Loop's Guide to the Galaxy. I've not seen... I'm not familiar with Loop. Going to have to figure out those weird legendary ingredients as well. I'm doing Loop's Guide to... Like, which types of weird legendary ingredients? The way we're doing... legendary lithium is actually, we're just hand dealing with it right now, because we have a recipe that does, it's up here somewhere. Where did I put that machine? Oh, it's right here. That uses a recipe that actually allows me to put legendary holmium plates in as a catalyst to make, so I have a solid that I can make it with. Yeah, this has the planets on this one. So the planets we did that we have is we have Pelagos, we have Maluna, Mosheen, Ceres, Pelagos, Rubia, Corrundum, and Maraxis. We'll probably go to Maraxis either end of this stream or beginning of the next one. The thing I really like the most, Mulana, Rubia, Ceres, Parison, Mosheen, Maraxis, might be forgetting one. Yeah, that sounds like it's everything but Paracelsin in this one. I liked Mosheen a lot. Rubia is insane. I don't know if you've done Rubia yet or gone there, but Rubia is nutty and it's wild. I won't spoil it for you that if you haven't gone there. Oh, you have done Rubia. Would you like to see my Rubia? I was like, oh, this is an interesting puzzle. So my Rubia went through. My latest Rubia build is this. This is my new pride and joy. This is my. So the one thing about Krastorio is all of your tech requires it to be in tech card form. Dude, I got trapped on Rubia for dozens of hours. Yeah, same here. I knew I wasn't going to be able to leave, but it was just one of those struggles because I went here first. This was the first planet I did after Volcanus, after the main ones. one of the things with Krastorio is that all of your science needs to be put into tech cards. So you have to combine a research data, which is like your normal recipe, with a tech card to make tech cards to bring back. But this is my build for doing biofused tech. We ship in bioflux and eggs, and we do nutrients out of spoilage into the sludge nutrients. Those get put onto this train. This train, this is just one little train loop. This train, this machine pulls nutrients and bioflux and bacteria off of this train. Trying to build up a stockpile of repair kits because I thought Rubio was a planet requiring constant repair and replacement. Yeah, I figured that out. I used a substation grid, and then I had my line of stuff going along the bottom and then coming up to feed my guns, and then my guns are arrayed in a thing, and then I have this giant thing over here which picks up my kryptonite, and then all of my power. But yeah, so this takes it and feeds it into our machine, which feeds it back out onto the train, and then this one, or feeds it, yeah, onto the train. Then these machines pull nutrients and bacteria off the train, and eggs, when eggs are here. Looks like we're currently on an egg run. Yeah. Are you on your way back with eggs? Yes, you are. And then they just loop around, since you have to feed. The only way to get the iron bacteria is to use iron bacteria. So it puts it onto the train, and then every 6 seconds, 6 seconds, 8 seconds, I have a little comparator stack that starts a cycle. I can tell it how many seconds I want it to wait here. It tells this comparator converts that into game ticks. This one, I say, starts a timer. Crapapults on space platforms to get rid of excess stuff? Nope. I just dump on space platforms. I've never even thought about that. On my space platforms just... my space platform design is a little different than most people's. I don't use sushi belts on mine. I have a build that essentially what it does is we pull things up on the top. It goes onto a belt and gets fed into the main area that holds a stockpile. We have a little controller that tells me how many I want of each in a stockpile, and that controls these filters for these arms. Really, if I had it right now, I don't have any. These are usually higher quality. Here, if we just send my ship to... Oh, it should go back to Novice anyway. Oops. So when it needs materials, it picks them up. It doesn't need any materials currently. And then it just feeds them onto these two lateral belts, the types that I need, outward, so that I can do iron and calcite and center. And we can see as it picks things up, it'll just throw them off the ship with inserters. Purple inserters. Go fast enough. Whee! And these pull off excess stuff to make sure that we're not clogging up carbon by having too much of this, just reading the contents of the belt and throwing it away when there's too much. Corrundum is an interesting planet. It's all based off I feel like if you just had Corrundum, it would be really interesting, because it has some recipes that are kind of outshined by a lot of the other planets. It does allow for faster engines and steam production using rocket fuel, but it's all about converting sulfur into sulfur dioxides and then breaking them down and then converting them into using them as catalysts with platinum to make sulfate solutions to get your iron and copper. I think it would be a really interesting planet to play if you were playing a start on any planet game. If you started on Corrundum, I think it would be a really interesting challenge. But because of how it functions in relationship to some of the other planets, I don't see a direct use for it specifically. Rubia has been my favorite. I liked Moshin a lot. This is one of my favorite builds I've ever done. This takes our... You don't get any special... oh, well, actually, that's not true. On Corrundum, you get catalytic chemical plants, which I don't even remember what they do. Do I even have any on me? Might not even have any on me. No. They work like chemical plants. They go a little bit faster, but in Krastorio we have advanced chemical plants made out of imersite that outscale most of these. But you can do all that stuff. You can also do, but you also get all of these special chemistry things where you can make nutrients out of things like carbon, fish, and calcium sulfate. You make calcium sulfate out of calcite and sulfuric acid, so it makes it so that you can do this make better yields out of that. There's ways of making asphalt, which is another ground brick. You can do liquids using sulfates, which are made out of sulfur. You can make ores. In my game, the special recipes we got out of it, we just finished it at the end of last session. Find me my... Where are they? Get to it from here. There we go. We get... Here. Right, it should be out of... Here we go. We get other ways to make plastic. We get a pressure laboratory, which is interesting. It does research faster, but requires uncommon science. It will do them... It has a considerably lower science drain, 35% science drain. Research is faster, but requires uncommon science. So it's an interesting, weird, challenge to use these. I think that they could be interesting late game. I'm not quite sure. You also get platinum thrusters, which are thrusters that have a higher fuel consumption and therefore a higher mass, higher thrust. And then the one thing that I really wanted from it was actually this steam production, which allows us to use thruster fuel, water, and thruster oxidizer to make steam. So I can actually, on my space platforms, I can get rid of my power plant because this is just being used to produce hot steam. And then we're burning the steam in our steam turbines. This is a Krastorio. I don't think it's a Krastorio one, where we use DT cells to do a fusion reaction to make steam, and then we feed it into these advanced turbines. It won't run as efficiently because these want 4,000. Oh, actually, on space it will, because the space one can only do the steam recipe that's making 500 degree steam, right? No, it's outputting 1,000 degree steam. So these will run a little less efficiently because they want, the hotter the steam, the better, more power they generate. But these also recycle steam into cooled steam that we can then recycle back into water. So I won't need to send fuel up anymore because I can just burn oxidizer and fuel to make steam in the catalytic steam converter, I think. We're going to probably look into making that change before the end of stream. Right now, though, I want to try to get my coal production, my legendary coal production back up and running. And in order to do that, I needed this. This requires what? Oh, we don't have those yet. Right, Immersium beams. So we need to... Actually, the first thing we need to be making... One of the things that we actually need to be making, to make sure that we have enough, is we do need to be making legendary matter stabilizers. And we have all the things we need for this now, and as that can be productivity, great. We only need to make sure that we have... This can be a small stack, a small box. Because it doesn't need a lot of it. This is going to be legendary. Actually, do we already have these on the planet somewhere? No, we must not. Oh, do we want to make sure that we have them charged or uncharged? That's an interesting question. You might get an unbalanced game, either impossible to play or too easy. Yeah, that's why I think the Krastorio mod is very good. It does have some OP buildings, but it does add a new challenge. And those OP buildings are really because there's a option in the mod. I think it's at the very bottom. This one. Mid-game, late-game, end-game, MLE tech cost scaling. It scales the cost of all of our techs by, I think it's 10x once you get past a certain level. So our final endgame tech that we need to research is this, the intergalactic transceiver, which takes Promethium tech. Without that turned on, it takes like 250k. With it turned on, it takes 5 million. So, big machines that run fast, lots of machines that run fast to be able to push through enough science is kind of a necessity if you want to not spend 7 days waiting for your science to come through. That or just stockpile a bajillion science ahead of time. Okay, so we're doing this. Now the question is, we're making uncharged ones, right? And this is asking for charged ones. So I think what we have to do... This requests No, that requests the charged ones. Right, we're not requesting uncharged ones. We request charged ones. They go there, they get uncharged, they come back through, they go through there. So if we have charged ones in-house, so we should do this. It goes there, to a charger. Do I have a charger on me? A battery charger? Otherwise I have to go to Novice to grab one. I don't see one. Let's just go grab one off Novice. What's your favorite part of the game? Harambe. Real Harambe. I doubt you're the real Harambe. Like, what drew you to it? What excites you about it? Isn't he dead? Didn't we shoot him? How are you the real Harambe? Also, I don't know that gorilla hands are a great option for typing. I have a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I just can't get into it, but I like building big optimized builds. I agree. I really enjoy the way that games like this tickle my brain. They really make me think about what we're doing. I think I should just drop down. This is going to get used. Maybe we don't even bother with that. Maybe we just go like this and go one more up here. And then just drop this into a box right here. Then you're gonna run while... Oop, nope. Okay, then that goes like that. And then we go U enabled while that is less than 100. Just to make sure that we have enough on here. Yeah, I sometimes feel that way. I just love this game because I like factory games. So I play a lot of this. I've played a lot of Satisfactory, Dyson Sphere Project. Those are probably my three favorite. I also do a lot of colony sim games. We'll probably come back to do a couple more Oxygen Not Included runs the next time we get a little bit of content, or if I find a conversion mod that I really find exciting about that. We're looking forward to Away Team on that. We're considering adding in I realize that was a typo. Think about adding in Space Haven. It's kind of like a mix between Faster Than Light and RimWorld, which we love both of those. I'm trying to think of what else we play. But I like any game where it makes me think and I can come up with new, novel ways of solving problems. And Factorio is one of those games where there's so many different ways to approach the problem that you just always have good. It's just good. Alright, so we need this. Our matter all comes out over here. We could pull more matter up to here. We do 2 of these. what if we go... Realized I did not put any speed in that. You like Orcs 3 Must Die, totally different genre, but scratch that itch in a similar way. Yep. That's cool. A global high score. I can understand that. That's kind of like why I like the base builder games and colony sims. Those are fun. Like we did a really good we have a pretty good, our community has a lot of Oxygen Not Included fans. As you can see on the bottom there, we also, I haven't streamed any Destiny, but a buddy of mine and I, we're going to get back into it since they just announced that it was going to have its final expansion, and we're like, aw, alright, let's boot it up for old time's sake. Diplomacy is not an option. I have not heard of that. Let me look at it. I do like dudes on a map games though. I played a lot of Civ, and I like I have Europa Universalis and stuff like that. Diplomacy is not an option. Interesting. Might not be my thing. I don't prefer real-time games. Although it says it's similar to Oxygen Not Included, not quite sure how. I don't do well with games that are... Yeah, I'm not a real-time gamer by any means. They're games that I've just never been any good at. Oh, we can't do it on this planet. Right. That's why we were going to do tungsten and bring the tungsten over so we could make... Can we make the carbides on this planet? We can, right? Yeah, because we can make this here. That's why we had that set up, but we can't do the Can't do the carbides on this planet. Oh wait, we can do carbides on this planet. We just we're going to choose not to. Because we didn't want to make sulfuric acid on this. Oh, we have sulfuric acid. Okay. Keep building, your guns will go dry. No, Rubia was pretty simple. Once you get your initial, like, you can see my base here. This was the initial base. The initial base was literally just this row of guns on a belt that went down to here and then looped back, or went up to here and then looped back down around, and we just built our entire base here until we had a good enough idea on how to just move it over and then run it back up. So we actually got our Rubia going pretty smooth. Once we had landed, I was just frustrated that everything looked like spaghetti while I was doing it. But yes, at the very, very beginning, it's a real-time challenge. I mean, so is Novice, right? Because if you're not building out defenses, then you have to deal with the biters in real time. But it tends to be my least favorite part of the game. And I'm just not good at it. I'm not good at twitchy games. Like, you put me... I tried my best to get good at something like... I spent 5 years playing League of Legends and never got any better at it than the beginning. I just don't have... My mechanics aren't good. I don't have great dexterity mechanics. Some shooters I'm okay at. Like, I do enjoy Destiny, but it's rare for me to find one that I'm any good at. Fighting games, not so great at. It has to be really, really good for me to enjoy them. I am enjoying Arc Raiders currently, though. Mainly because I don't have to fight other people. Okay, so we can't do what we were going to do here, because you can't make these here. The question is, do we just take this over? Is it better to make matter? We do have a lot of matter on Volcanus, because we have matter from all of these. We've just been making matter cubes. Yeah, it's going to be better to send those over and have them do it than it's going to be to have that come back. I was just sucked, too slow, too imprecise. Yeah, that was... here's the thing is, I love League of Legends. I am a huge fan. I watch the competitive scene to this day. I have followed it for 10 plus years. I played it probably every day for 16 hours when I was in my late 20s because I was in between jobs, and I just never got any better at it. It was just one of those things that I was like, oh, wait, Immersium beams. We should be making Immersium beams. Why do we not have Immersium beams? Oh, you're not asking for powder. I don't need these yet. This is an Immersium beam. I was wondering why that wasn't what I wanted it to be. We have Immersite powder. We have plenty of Immersite powder. I just didn't turn that on. But yeah, I just couldn't. The mechanics, the precision, never been my thing. So I like my non-dexterity, slow man thinking games. Something I can pause. It's rare for me to want to play something that's like I'm more drawn into shooters and real-time strategy games if I have a friend that plays them and is excited about them, because it's fun to play with your friends on those types of things. My partner really likes Age of Empires 2. I spent 2 months just learning the meta and how that game runs, and got to a point where I was like, okay, I can do this, but I can see that learning how to like maximize your productivity in that game was taking some of the fun out of it for her. So I was like, all right, this is not helpful. And never in a million years would I ever queue up for a PvP lobby in that game. I'd get smoked so fast. Oh, come on, network. Don't start being annoying now. Okay, so we're not going to do those here. We will just do this. I'm going to take 100 of these with me to Volcanus, and we'll see how long 100 of those lasts me. How much we can make how much tungsten carbide we can make out of that. So let's go. Oh, first off, before we leave, we were going to make one legendary matter, one of these. And then one of these, legendary matter plant. It's the same recipe. Okay. There's more pipes. so that I can do my math with these. If the stream quality keeps going down, we will have to call it for the evening. I don't want to, but my network has been so flaky. I wish I could get a different one. But I am locked into one decent option where I live currently, with both my current option and the competitor saying, yeah, we'll have fiber where you live soon. TM. Kind of annoying. Alright. So now, let's figure out what we need to do to make this happen, to make it not a craptastic situation. We need to put out Is there a worthwhile having one of these that's bigger? No. What about these? Almost. Okay, let me grab this guy. So for this, we're turning matter to coal. These have to just be speed, and this we're taking stone into matter, right? So that does 25 stone to that. That takes, okay, so this, so if we were to take these and go bloop bloop. Oh, in the meantime though, why don't we just do this first? Let's go. Before we start this though, let's go. Wait, let's do some math here. Is it better to just make the legendary tungsten carbides? Let's do some... Take a look here. It might... Oh wait, we can't just make legendary tungsten out of it though, because that doesn't require a matter stabilizer. So yeah, so it's just that. That takes 30. That takes 40. But there's also a world where 30 matter is 10 tungsten, but 30 matter requires 100 stone. No. $85 stone per second. So we would need even more stone to get enough tungsten. We're already going to be trying to do that for calcite at some point. I mean, we can have an infinite amount of it. It's not hard. It's just space. Space constraints. Really annoying. If YouTube is complaining about my stream health. YouTube seems fine with it. Okay. I just do this, and then I go like that, and go. Oh, another legendary one of those. Do I have? So we can just use regular ones. It's not the end of the world. And you make legendary that. Then we can just do this. We're just going to put that here, I think. Oh, wait, hang on. Right. This has to do... It's my chargers. Need to go get another charger. As we go... That has to be legendary. That filters... That has to be legendary. That filters because we will get our legendary... Let's go just grab some battery chargers. We're gonna need them. They don't need to be legendary battery chargers either. Should have... Oh, we have some green battery chargers anyway right there. Cool. Alright, so what we're doing is we have all of this. We've always been... We converted a while back our excess stone from being thrown into the lava to being converted into matter cubes. We also need to change this to be use filters matter cubes because I noticed that it grabbed one of the batteries instead. And now this does not go this way anymore. This will now go like this. Okay, then this should request that, but we're only going to request 20 of them. And we're going to take these legendary batteries and go like this. Perfect. Then we'll just put these in a box here for case we need to use them for something else. And then this goes like that. Oh, you know what? I do want to set this up so it's not... Okay. This can just go forever. Oh, right, and then this needs to request... We need to change this request, but we need to set this up the same way we had the other one. Oh, right. Oops. And then we'll just put these in our yellow box here. Oh, we need another battery charger. There's nothing for that to take out but the battery. Now that's just making legendary, and we're gonna see how long 100, like, will 100 legendary stacks of this give me a full set? What I'm gonna do though here is this. This is gonna go pretty well, it looks like, regardless of the amount of these that we've got, so I think we'll go like this. We're gonna go oh wow, these need to go faster. These actually need to go faster. Okay, so those are doing that. Let's just do this. For now, we can go... Let's change the way this works. And just put them... Instead, we can go like this. Put a storage warehouse here. Changing the way we store these. And then we can go like this with this. Go out this way. So that we can start churning through all of our used ones. And now that will make matter, and this is going to make 320 matter a second. That's using less than 320 matter a second. This probably doesn't even need to have these in it. Let's see, now we are still up 25 matter. Perfect, so that's perfect. This is now just going. And these are going to make what we're watching to see here is how quickly, if we can fill up both of these boxes with before we run through all of our matter stabilizers, because each one of these recipes, there's a 99% chance it gives me my stabilizer back. And we brought it. Jesus, the stream is just all over the place. So in Krastorio, you've got these machines, which can take any of the base resources and turn it into matter, which is a liquid. It is a matter plant. It just turns it into matter. And then you've got these machines, which can take matter and turn it back into another resource. It can't do them so it needs to be on the proper planet to do it. But what's cool is some of them require using a matter stabilizer. Like if you're just doing the base resources, it doesn't take a matter stabilizer. So it's just a liquid being turned into a solid. But when we have our matter stabilizers involved, we can make legendary matter stabilizers like we're doing here. And because we have a legendary solid input, we can get a legendary output. So what we're doing is taking our stone, and our stone gets turned, our excess stone on Volcanus gets turned into matter, and those matter is just getting converted to matter cubes for storage, because we had been making more than, we couldn't store it in this because it's much more dense. A matter cube takes 1,000 matter and turns it into a solid so that you could transport matter around easier. And then that matter gets pumped out. Those matter cubes get stored for use if we need them elsewhere, get pumped out. Well, it gets stored because this way we can keep storing matter cubes. And then these will take legendary matter stabilizers, which we can make on our legendary, which we are making on our legendary planet. This will make up until we have 100 of them, so that we'll always have 100 we could go pick up, or we could, that a ship could come and pick up and then drop off. Like if we were out of, we could have the Volcanus Gatherer, which sits over Volcanus and says, hey, I'm asking for these things. And the way I do all of my ship logistics is using interrupts that basically say, hey, if you have a planetary import from a planet that's 0 and the circuit that says we have enough fuel says go, and the passenger's not there, then go there and pick up your resources. So essentially I could set one of these up to say, hey, go to Maluna, pick up charged matter stabilizers, and come back, and it will, and then set a request on Volcanus to say, hey, I need you to request, make sure that we always have 100 matter stabilizers, 100. We want to make sure that you have 100 of these in stock, and then it will go and pick them up and drop them off as needed. And this little combinator stack just says, hey, track see what's on the request, see what's in the logistics network, and output a request from it. Good Lord, stream, what are you doing? I can never tell if it's Twitch or my network either. So yeah, so right now we're just seeing exactly, we brought 100 charged matter stabilizers over. And we're going to see if 100 charged matter stabilizers is enough to get me 2 full boxes of this. Or a full box of each of these. Because if it is, then I might not have to set up any sort of logistics shipping of these. I can just bring them over when I need them. Although technically, in the long run, if we wanted to do legendary science, which we do, we want to take legendary science at some point. I think that's the goal for this run, is to see if we can, how many different sciences we can make a throughput of like 5 legendary science per second on each one, because some of them are going to be hard to do, like Pelagos. Really, it's only the sciences that we want to be then this ship is supposed to be doing it, but we took a break because I wanted to make sure that it could go fast. I wanted to get the new engines. This ship is designed to just run, and run around and pick up legendary stuff and drop it off where it needs to go. It's doing 24. Each of these does 24 per second. Great, just a different matter. Rates. Looks like we're down to 45, 50, 65. So we burned through 35 of them on this amount. So we're going to do something similar to this over on the other end. I think we can just let that run for a bit. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how tight of a matter stream we need to make for... Is this not done yet? It's only 13k. And it stops when we get to 20k, right? Yeah, okay. We have over 1 million legendary stone. We have that stopped already. But now what I want to do is we're going to set up. So we know... Okay, so that's 150. So if we did a... let's do this all legendary. Legendary Singularity Beacon. With legendary speed modules. Which we'll be able to make now on... en masse on Maluna, because we'll be able to bring those things over and make them there. The only ones that we won't make on Maluna are the legendary productivity modules, because we'll need to do a legendary biter egg scrubber. Okay, so now this is doing 360 to matter, and that's doing okay, so one of these fully kitted out does one full row or one full line. So that means we need, if I wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, we need well, we're gonna have to put that here. And how are we bringing this in? So stone's gonna come, it's gonna come in like that. So let's assume that the stone comes down here, down the middle. Let's say we have 8 of these. Alright, so then we would go... Oh, you know what? We don't have to do that. That's silly. Okay, so I know I need 8 of those anyway, so let's just make... Let's go back to Maluna and make 8 of these. 8... not those ones first. It's this one first, right? No, it is this one first. Okay, yeah. Need 8 of these. 2, 3, 6. So we actually probably do need to do them like this. 1, 2... 3, 4... 5, 6... 7, 8... And then... I think we just do that the same way, right? Let's move this down so we can go. Further down. Okay. And then we just do pipes that go... interesting. What if we take this and spin it? I didn't even think about how I'm getting it into these. I know how to get it into those. That's not hard, actually. Now, the funny thing is, then I can just do this. Can I save a spot if I do? If I was to take these and move them further down. Oh yeah, I could bring one out the side of each of these. And then one out of that, so we could go like this. Oh. Actually, if we do it that way, then we can do... We do this. I'm trying to think of not having to bring it down onto this square and make it clean, and I think that we can go like this, because I don't need that one then, because these two will be able to do it. We'll go... Tried city blocks, but like this, but it's hard to connect blocks together, so a city block base just becomes a main bus base. It's both. Depends on how you do it. You can do them with trains. Like this one, a lot of my city blocks are connected by trains. In Aquilo, these are all city blocks, and there's no bus here. A lot of it just becomes bot. Like, you make something in one spot, you wind up combining the two. Like in Volcanus, I have my city blocks. Like I have blocks that do, like this is just doing stuff for crafting. I have my crafting block. I have some power blocks. I have upcycler blocks. I have my this block, and then when we get up to the main bus is when I start moving things in heavy quantities. Like, okay, this needs a full line of green belts. to function. So we have a couple of green belt ones on here. I have an area down here that's doing rocket fuel. And then over here we're doing our stone and stuff because our stone production is city blocks down here. It just helps me sort of organize things. It's not a tried and true method, but it helps me figure out where things are going to go. And then we go here and here. And then these can go like this. So these don't need any other inputs other. This needs to have the input of the stone, which is what we're going to do here. Yes. That's sort of what I do for bot bases, or you can have it be train bases. Like, my city block still... do I have a good example of that? Like, Machine is almost all bots. Like, our mining, because on Machine it's all this multi-ore, that's all just ore, and it's logistics mining, and then that just goes to wherever it needs to go. And then on Ceres is not a city block base. Ceres is a substation grid base. Fulgora is totally a bot city block base. There is no bus here. It all just comes into here and then gets moved to wherever it needs to go to for what it's doing, because I'm not going to try to bus out all my stuff. Yep, you just sort of pre-plan your blocks. You definitely have to sort of think ahead. Like when I'm doing my initial layouts, like Maluna is a good example. Like we have our mining things. I pre-plan where my rails will go. When I thought I was going to do Volcanus as where we were going to do it like this on each one and bring them in on trains, we kind of figured out the trains where they were going to come in to go serve the purpose, and then we were going to do pickup for this to take it over to rockets, or just do rockets at the near where my production was. So this one's almost a 3x3, just has the thing in the center. Everything sort of, these two feed into this block, and then this block feeds out to the others. You can do it that way too, where you basically have one input block that's a train input that feeds out or into this one, and then this one feeds out to your other city blocks. That works. Like I said, I don't recommend them. I just like them because they help me stay organized. Otherwise, my builds just sort of sprawl off in directions, and then I get confused, and I personally end up with having less fun with it. Nope, that does have to go like that, doesn't it? I guess technically it doesn't have to. I mean, I guess technically it could go like this too. Actually, if I just move them in, then I could do it like this. Yeah, I should do that and then move it over one more. One, two, three, four, five, six. Seven, eight. Oh, wait, that doesn't quite work. This has to go... one further to the right. Then these go like this. Let's just go get me my... Let's just go make 7 more of each of these so I can actually do the build. What I would like to do is be able to, like, just have a blueprint that just picked it up and dropped it down and asked for something, and then I can pull in exactly as much as I wanted once, make a latch. Three. That would make me 8. Let's take those out. Take those out. West. Those. And then how many of this does it take? Takes 10. Okay, so that would make me 7. 7 more, which I don't want. I only want 1 more. Now let's set this to legendary ones of you. Those. Oh, why are we out of control units? Out of LDS? Why are we out of LDS? Did the LDS not get turned on? Yeah, we stopped requesting plastic. Which we have plenty of. Let's just go grab while we're waiting. Should be LDS here. And plastic here. Just dump it. We don't have to try to organize it. Oop. Either way, we can just do this. And then do this. How many more do I need? I needed 3 more. You need to be going faster. If I do this, we can do that. And if I do this, oops. This. And then this doesn't exist anymore. Actually. So we can figure out something else to do with this one later. We have a new spot. Actually, we could probably do one of these. We'll move one of these up here. Oh wait, we're already making engines. Why are we making engines twice? We move that one over here. And we're already making lithium plates. What the heck? I became overzealous on making some of this stuff. These don't belong there anymore.